We've run out of ideas. Let's tank this bitch. Welcome everyone to Content Pinning, the show. This is our after hours where we just hang out and we still continue to drink. And apparently this app that I use for sound effects does not like it when you try to change the audio. That's
Did you update anything recently? Because
that app. Yeah,
that's
why. Yeah,
so an app for audio doesn't like me try to change the audio.
No, absolutely not. Yeah,
Okay.
Just the volume. This is the intensity. I'm Travis.
I'm Dylan.
We are a podcast called Content Pinning, the show where we like to talk about things that happen over the week with interesting people. We have Adam McWaters coming over.
I am back.
You're back. You're back from the bathroom. Because
That's right.
Minutes after recording the last one.
Almost died, but
Beard,
here I am.
Beard and Luck Dragon. He's a web developer and also a fan of comics, beer, and all sorts of cool, fun things.
Loads of stuff.
And high fives. That's why he's so great at them.
Can we do... I fucked that up.
Across from we have Nick Canedo coming back and hanging out with us for the rest of the show.
Guys.
I'm going to put 40 minutes on the clock. We got 40 minutes. We have to solve all the world's problems in 40 minutes.
Nick, real job, Canado.
Still thinking about it. Again, 2 hours later, he's still thinking about it. Yeah.
I have a real job.
I'm a Newton bar. I mean, we all have real jobs.
Only one of us is saving lives.
Yes.
Directly. My job does not save lives. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, indirectly, we all can probably.
My job keeps titties and ding dongs out to school.
That's true. I forgot about the new job. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's people like you that keep me in business,
Yeah.
whether donating or needing blood.
I think in our case, mostly needing blood.
Or both.
Yeah. You get moonlight at one of those like saline replacement companies too. Like you can take care of the blood, and also like for booze hounds who like require their vitamin V shots.
Yeah.
I said vitamin V. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't even do it ironically. Anyway, so what are we talking about tonight, guys?
We're gonna go ahead and give you the irony there. That
Okay.
was really good.
Thank you. It wasn't, but thank you.
Don't you
It's
think?
art.
Don't you think?
It's art, boy.
So, on the main episode, which is episode 9, which you can find on iTunes, you can find it on Stitcher, you can find it anywhere you can find podcasts, you can listen to a full episode 9.
Yeah.
This is episode 9.5. We talked a bit about some stuff in North Korea. We talked a bit about comic book stuff, comic book movies, especially because of Infinity War came out and made a buttload of money.
Pre-China $1 billion.
A pre-China buttload of money. And then we also talked a little bit about Hawaii getting magmud, which is
Which is not
better than magad, I guess.
That's not a good Tuesday.
Yeah, it's not a good Tuesday.
Speaking of Adam blowing smoke in my face,
Sorry.
apparently the kids today have a problem that they call. They have a name for it. So the kids have been vaping a lot, but they are referring to it as a specific brand name.
Oh.
It's called Juuling. Because there's a specific vape
The Juul
pen called
device,
the Juul. Yeah.
yes.
And apparently it has like little USB sticks that are the flavor pods.
Okay.
And apparently that's the thing the kids do. And they're actually this came across my microphone fell off. This came across my radar because apparently some kid who's like 17, 18 years old did a documentary in his high school saying how much of a problem it was.
Juuling.
Yes.
Huh.
And apparently, like there are kids. Okay, so the cool thing for me watching this was seeing how old I am. That's part one.
Oh, that's a lot of fun, yeah.
And then part two. Oh, speaking of aging, more alcohol. Yeah, there you go. I'm fermenting myself. There you go.
I approve.
That's better. I'm pickled.
Yeah.
But
Pickle Dylan.
yeah, just don't see the other part. The kids, it's teenagers right now. There's a little weird little thing where they refuse to be seen. Like you can't catch them with a cigarette. Like that's social crime.
Which is good, actually.
However, they are vaping themselves into an early grave because they're taking in so much nicotine.
Okay.
They're like 17, 18 years old, and they are addicted beyond insanity, like
Okay.
crazy levels of insane.
Okay.
Because vaping is acceptable. And so whatever that piece of the
Not
teenage
most
puzzle
places.
of where you want to be cool or whatever, back when I think all of us here were younger, it was smoking was okay. It was cool. Like
It's still fucking cool.
well, only because you're smoking and there's no camera, but you're still playing to it, which I appreciate so much.
Well, I should have blown into the microphone.
It works.
Yeah, my sex tape.
Yeah,
I have a boner.
yeah, you did.
Name your sex tape.
Yeah. But so the
Not my
youths, they will not smoke, but they will vape the fuck out of everything.
Sure.
And they're vaping so much that they're starting to already have health problems because
Are they dying?
they're getting very, very sick.
Are there a lot of high schoolers dying?
It's mostly addiction.
It's
at this point.
popcorn lung, Adam. You want to talk about popcorn lung?
It's
sure.
Mostly, it's
We can
mostly
talk
addiction.
about
at this
popcorn lung.
Adam's got a counterpoint, of course, because you've been vaping for quite some time. You quit smoking. How many years ago?
5.
Yeah, 5 years ago. And you've been paying attention to because there's one side that's going to be propaganda because big tobacco actually is a real thing. I think.
It is. Yeah.
which is a reason why something I love about this, not to detract it or to reduce what you're about to say by any means, but what I love is that big tobacco has been in the vaping game for some time. They even had what's his face? Fucking who was the
Stephen fucking Dorff.
it's Stephen
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Thank
No,
you.
you leave that name.
Stephen
Dorff
Dorff
is like my arch enemy.
holding the fucking I think it was
Stephen Dorff is your arch enemy.
Yes.
He actually
Okay, hold
shook
on.
his fist.
Sorry.
but the Stephen Dorff
He had
had
the blue,
he had the
yeah.
blue. It was which I think is it's a camel product.
Yeah. And,
like-
and now he has cancer. Yeah.
And no, well, I mean, because he was smoking before that, probably. But
Yeah, no,
whatever.
that is true. Yeah.
But it's amazing that they're not calling it bluing. They're not calling it vaping. That they're calling it.
Juuling.
Some company came in
Not
and
calling it bluing.
Yeah.
I blew
I
myself.
blew myself.
Yeah.
No, the company is JUUL.
But they actually came through.
Right there.
They marketed themselves to get to teens
Yes.
and kids. That's a
Yeah.
And I know Adam has I know
big
you,
success to them. Jesus.
I know you have
know?
rants, and I'm not.
Sorry.
I'm not touching on it. The only thing I'm pointing out for that, what I was exposed to this week was,
AIDS.
no, because everybody has AIDS. AIDS.
Yeah.
That's a
I've got
Team
two.
America
I've
joke.
got two of them.
no. The point being, addiction. Addiction is what was the biggest driver that this young kid was. He made a documentary through his high school. Addiction is the issue.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Okay, so I got into the whole e-cig thing with no intention of quitting smoking at all.
No, of course not, because you're Adam.
just liked it.
But it was a gadget, and I'm that brand of nerd, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the nicotine was the goal, obviously. Like that's what you get addicted to in the whole chemical process of setting a thing on fire, right?
Yeah.
That's what your brain wants. We know this. It's true.
We know this.
We know this.
Huey Lewis and News.
I make the juice for them. I like them. The kit has gotten way better and blah. Is it better than doing nothing? No. Is it better than cigarettes? Yes. By a number of magnitudes.
Large margin. Yeah.
Orders?
Is it possibly
Orders.
dangerous in a different way?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
Point is, I think it's kind of up to the motherfuckers selling the shit to kind of tell that kid, nah, I'm not.
Oh, that's a terrible argument. I'm sorry. That's a terrible argument.
Well, because addiction is still
well,
addiction.
Yeah.
Now that they're no, but
You can't
what
say
I mean is,
Philip Morris don't sell cigarettes because they're bad because they're in a business to sell
look,
cigarettes.
a lot of people who got into the industry early and were like staples of the industry in any capacity, whether they're selling devices or juices or all of the above or just accessories, whatever. They actually started off on the right foot before, any kind of regulation, any kind of like legal action, any kind of anything, by just saying, no, we've decided it's going to be 21 and up.
Oh.
Not even 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, I know. But the point was, they were trying. Like,
Well,
and now it's like they're in gas stations, and those motherfuckers aren't going to try shit, right?
well, are you blaming the gas stations or?
No.
Where's your ire aimed, sir? Because you clearly have a point that you're trying to push against, but I'm not sure where you're pushing.
Well,
Manufacturers of the devices, or
no.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Let me find it. shall we?
Different show, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe no, but it's
I like that as the new. We're not drunk enough for that.
well, okay.
Different show.
Yeah.
Real quick before the search continues,
For my point.
what documentary? Where can I see it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know the name of it, but we'll put it in show notes. I just saw an article talking about the dude making it. So,
So you're
Yeah.
not okay. All right.
I've not seen the documentary.
I would be
yeah.
fascinated to see it because obviously, like a kid's concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, nicotine is addictive. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad the amount that I've dropped.
yeah. Meanwhile,
in nicotine over
well,
the years.
Yeah.
Travis kills this pack of cigarettes.
I do have to admit, I'm kind of intrigued by the fact that the trend for teenagers to use vaping devices versus cigarettes, that
yeah.
it's
Yep.
probably because it's perceived as cooler and that cigarettes are not that it's
No, it was-
bad or ugly to be doing it, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it's lame.
It's lame. Yeah.
Well, hold on. They're teenagers, of course.
Yeah.
Because
Good luck with that marketing strategy.
our buddy Banjo,
I would remind you of Dare.
our good buddy Banjo, took in
His ward.
his
ward.
ward. Yeah, award. It was a friend who was babysitting for a long time and like realized that she was having a bad life, and so they brought her into the house for like a year or so, and like so she was a live-in babysitter, and also they were helping her go to school and buying her whatever. And but through that, Ben was able to find out some like nomenclature in teens because she was like young or whatever, and like 15, 16. And like finding out that specifically, this is how I learned that when you text out, this is lame AF, which AF means as fuck, that teens don't say as fuck, they say AF. Well, fine.
like
okay.
verbally.
Verbally.
Yeah.
But he was the first one I learned, it was about a year ago or like a year and a half ago, that if you're smoking, you're fucking lame.
Yes.
Like, it is something our parents did.
Right.
It's a pair of
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Cigarettes.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I was
Yeah.
saying is
yeah.
so
Right.
fascinating to
Yeah.
me that
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes themselves are like, ugh.
It's
Right.
gross, yeah.
That's for my
Now,
dad.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I, grandpa? Am I 40?
But
What
they
the
will
fuck?
vape
Yeah.
the fuck out of everything.
So to both of your points, actually something very interesting I saw recently, there was a research study that came out that said that given 3 different groups, non-smokers, smokers, and people who vape only, that smokers, that non-smokers and vapors, or lulers or whatever, jewelers, yeah.
well, that just offends me on a.
Oh, sure.
Actually, if you say it
fundamental
long enough, the kids will stop doing it.
But that non-smokers and people who vape have the same stomach biomes or the same stomach. What do you call the actual
Enzymes?
the
That would be
enzymes?
biome.
Yeah, biomes.
Yeah.
They have the same biomes that the actual smoke that you're inhaling affects actual smokers. So it was an article that came out that was literally positive to vaping, which I've never literally seen in my entire life in the entire time.
True story.
Because that's an important point. Is like documentarians that come out, like that's why popcorn lung was a thing.
It makes you play D&D.
Because how-
D&D's from Satan.
How many times have you heard the word popcorn lung? Like when it comes
A-
to vaping,
a lot.
because it's like, oh, it's the same thing where it's back when I was smoking, which was a couple minutes ago.
Currently, yeah.
No, when I was younger, the idea of smoking, if you were smoking cloves, you can't smoke cloves, you can't smoke menthol
Because
cigarettes
they're little
Yeah.
crystals
because
that
they'll crystallize
tear
your
out
lungs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who comes up with that shit? I mean, is it the people who are trying to keep you from doing it, or is it to try to get kids to be like, oh man, I hope my lungs are crystal? Like,
I just think goths are annoying. And that's why people brought that up. Like,
Sure.
just go. I didn't invite you. Go away.
I went to a gas station recently, and because of cigarettes, and that gas station actually had vape stuff
Yeah.
in stealable range, and it is a known thing.
They all do now. Yeah.
In a long time ago, it was a known thing that cigarettes used to be very easy to steal because that was one of the last like Hail Marys of the tobacco, big
Right,
tobacco.
you're going to prison anyway.
Was
You're
to
gonna
try-
need some currency.
No. Whoa. Catch the thread. That the idea was like if you're underage, like, and you can't afford to buy, like if you're not 18, can't afford to buy cigarettes, that they're really easy to steal, so you can get hooked by the time you actually could buy. That was literally a thing until people got in the way and ruined.
Big government.
Big government got and started regulating our youth. What the fuck? We're all obviously libertarian, but so the vape stuff is starting to turn into that, which
Yeah.
is fascinating because now it's a thing where you can't. You're not 21 or you're not 18, but you can steal this if you want to like be cool with your friends. Like,
Right.
oh man, history
and how
is
hard
weird.
is it to order any of this stuff off Amazon now?
Well, Amazon
Not at all.
Amazon Zero. You can't do anything on Amazon.
You can.
What really?
Yes.
Amazon can do now?
I don't know if they
Amazon can do now? I'm very smart.
Okay, Bizarro, calm down.
Me hates cigarettes.
No, it's not that you can necessarily get like full like starter kits or anything like that, or any of that. But like the body, the batteries, the
Sure.
tanks, like they're all sold separately.
Let's be real. So
right.
the barrier to entry is the exact same as watching porn.
Correct.
Are you 18? Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Right.
that's it. That's the reality.
Right. You have to. It would be more secure if you had to answer a question about Nancy Reagan. Like, the point is, it's not there. And I get it. Nicotine.
For once, I'm not making the old joke. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember?
just once.
I would have said Kerrigan
Yeah.
to make it more contemporary.
I know you would.
No, we're
You're
getting
trying to
closer.
chase that youth so bad, Dylan.
No, we're getting closer and closer to saying like Kurt Cobain references. We're old guys.
Yeah,
You know?
my
It's
back
true.
hurts. I don't know about you, but it
Yeah.
hurts.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Sure. Let's do that.
It's gross. It's gross. We're gross.
Like high school kids, fine. Like you know, you're gonna do your thing. You're gonna steal it. You're gonna actually like fake it. You're gonna buy it. You're gonna do these. Like, point is, I get punished for that shit.
How do you mean? What? Yeah, where are you going with that? That's a can of worms. What do you mean punished?
Like right now,
As a reasonably
2018. Like I make juice. Like I have a
You should sell
bunch
it
of
to-
shit.
You should sell it to
it to
teenagers.
teens.
You should sell it to teens.
Honestly,
Like
that's
sweet
kind of
cash.
where I'm leaning.
That's where the blood comes from.
Full of nicotine. What I mean is like there was
sweet
kind
sticky. Yeah.
there was for a brief flash through history a pretty good thing going with this whole concept. A lot of people
Vaping and whatnot.
well, a lot of people got off of actually, straight up setting tobacco on fire,
yeah, which is the best part.
which it was a good thing. It was a good thing for a lot of people who had a real fucking problem. Like a 3-pack a day motherfucker can find the right kit, can find the right, like dial in the correct amount of nicotine and not be a 3-pack day motherfucker anymore. It was kind of a good thing. Now
it's not that.
now that the kids have gotten jeweled about it, that's what gets the attention of the people who aren't involved at all. So regulations happen.
It should happen.
Yeah, last year and even more so this year is literally the worst time you can start a vaping company. You want to sell juice, you want to sell kit, you want to order it from China and resell it, you want to do any of those things, congratulations, you ain't making no money.
So open a hookah place instead.
We're up to fucking hearing those. It's
We are.
okay.
Yeah.
My house is one.
Yes, I've met your wife.
Yes, exactly. She's a big hookah fan.
She brings her own.
But
Nick, what were you gonna say, Nick?
that's-
Oh no, just about nicotine intake
Is it-
and
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like
we have mutual friends that talk about how they vape constantly on their sofa.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
are taking
Yeah.
a lot more nicotine than
I-
they would
yeah,
if they were
yeah.
taking cigarette breaks outside.
Yeah.
Um,
There's no
he-
timing
here's-
involved. Yeah.
aspect of it.
here, yeah, there is that
Yeah.
aspect. Yes, I work from
It's a
home.
huge aspect, actually.
I've worked from home for a solid 4 years now. I can do
Rich
it
men
anytime I
have
want,
job.
except for the rich part. But I do have job.
Finally.
The thing is, like, when I first started out with like the pens, like the Photodex era, me and Dave Ruckel, like
Dave
getting into
Ruckel.
it.
Yeah.
I was at like 36 milligrams of nicotine per milliliter. Like that's literally like 1 milligram less than poisoning yourself.
Yeah.
Then the kits got better, and that became it's like toot. I feel sick because they were so much more powerful. I'm down to 6 now. Like I didn't want to. I never intended to, but eventually I won't even do this. I don't think.
It's gonna be an interesting thing too, because like when the vaping thing, because like our core group of like friends outside of Don's, Adam.
Wait, that's outside of Don's?
Outside of Don's, yeah.
Outside of,
Well, I keep trying to bring them back
there's an
here.
outside of-
Tribe.
They all have relationships with Don's.
I'm
though.
saying, is there an outside of Don's?
Well,
I haven't seen it.
As soon as North
There is.
Korea,
It's actually linear.
as soon as North
time.
Korea signs that peace treaty, Trees Petey, I was going to say, God, damn.
Trees Petey.
Trees Petey. Yeah, trees are kind of peaty.
That's a great Scotch, though.
Yeah, Trees Petey.
Yeah.
Trace Petey. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Thrice Petey.
So anyway,
Trace Leches.
basically everyone in the group except for Chance
Mayo.
and Mark is like myself and Adam, buddy Banjo that I mentioned on the show before, delightful person. Evan, Brain, who has been on the previous show on Drunk Ass, is also a delightful human. Everyone's a delightful human. But Chance and Mark were the only two people, Joe and Brain actually, who did not smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
But all of them have a vaping apparatus of some sort, and Chance actually got really, really, really into nicotine when he started being able to consume, because he has
read a book about brain chemistry and then
Yeah, of course,
started like modding himself.
well, he had
Chance is not the example we want for this argument because he does things to himself.
Oh no, it still fits though. I mean,
Okay.
Chance has asthma. Is the only reason he didn't do nicotine in either form before. So he's doing that thing. Mark was doing that thing because whatever. I think
It's water vapor. It's not the same
Mark
thing.
does it without the nicotine at all. He just wants the flavors, whatever.
Hey, that I appreciate.
Yeah.
So, but a crazy thing that's happened is that all of them except for Banjo are quitting all the vaping. Like Evan's on his he's going down to 1 milligram. So
Really, Evan?
the last couple of years,
Yeah.
Really?
every single year we do this thing called Dudes Week, and we go out, we play video games, we bring our PCs, and get
double
fucking nerd.
barreling wides.
And
Like,
all
that was Evan
that's how Evan
before.
was before.
No,
yeah.
Camel Wides, those big
No,
motherfuckers.
Evan was a serious,
Very
smoker.
serious smoker,
Yeah.
just like myself, still kind of in the mix of the smoking culture or whatever, and really pining for the fetishizing, like we said off air, of being on a plane and being able to smoke or whatever. That's the thing I still think about. I go to airports, I'm like, oh, there's a cigarette, there's a place I can smoke a cigarette in an airport. This is very rare. I should do this.
The
In-
cigarette lounges in the airports
In
are
Vegas.
the most depressing places.
They're
I mean, granted,
so
I
depressing.
quit smoking.
Yeah, it's
2
a
months
it's a
ago.
fully
So-
enclosed
Yeah.
bus
So
stop.
I would
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
search for those places, but invariably, once getting inside,
Yeah.
I was like, "What am I doing?"
In
Why-
Vegas,
what-
is
yeah.
in Vegas is Terminal C.
Oh, the decisions I've made.
The worst one's in Denver, though. The smoking.
Salt Lake. Salt Lake's worst.
The Smoking Bear was one of the most depressing places I've ever been. Not because the fact it was just at one point it was just a room where they kept the extra stuff for the restaurant next door.
Yes.
And they just cleared all the stuff out.
Salt Lake City was the worst I ever saw. For
This was so disgusting, and also I wound up, because I had a long layover, I wound up talking to 2 different people who were on the verge of losing the jobs that they've had for 40 fucking years as very special people because of Trump or because of Obama. It was amazing. It was a beautiful place because all I was trying to do was just watch the fucking tarmac and watch the planes leave, and I just had one of these faces where people just want to say "Hey, you seem like a nice guy. Can I tell you why I have cancer?" That happens to me all the fucking time.
Oh, the problem is you
do have that face.
The problem
I also
is,
say yes,
The problem
please
is
tell me
you
about
say
it,
yes.
That's true.
Yeah, we need to have a discussion about
Sure.
that.
But back to the main point is that these guys who got really into the non-smoking thing are they're all falling off. Chance
great.
Chance is
Well, yeah,
completely.
it's been kind of a weird thing. I dropped to 6 to not have to order nicotine so often when I make the juice. But the thing is, I can go longer and longer almost every day without even thinking about this. Before it was oh my God, where's my I needed it with me. And I enjoy it.
and I'll never be there because I want to die in the most horrific way possible.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Good
You in the
I'm
front.
waiting. I love that. We'll find the links and we'll do some stuff for the show. The
Hell
weird
yeah.
thing about that, so apparently Juuling in particular, the Juul product is everything is prepackaged, and
There's a lot of those.
Which is a pariah in that culture.
it is a pariah.
but the kids are taking it in.
They're
And
lazy.
Because the kids are lazy and stupid.
where I'm
Yes.
going with that, though,
Weird.
is that they are getting basically one little USB stick that they put in their tutor is 3 packs of cigarettes.
I don't really understand how the USB part plays in.
No,
you can't transfer.
It's just shaped.
No. The Juul
The
device.
heating element is in the
No.
USB bit,
Yes.
and then it just, okay.
The
I
flavor
get it.
pods
Yeah,
are
okay.
basically they look like USB sticks.
Yeah, Evan has
Yeah.
the way he's weaning off is using a product that basically is a USB stick that has these little tiny pods, just like it was long ago.
Gross.
That's I know, but that's how he's weaning off because
But the point I was
it's the
making
cheapest way.
is that they're not you can't choose the nicotine you're taking in like.
Oh, I can.
No, I'm just saying you can, yes, but the way that these Juul products, you can't dial it that back.
right.
No, it's
right.
it's one.
So-
it's one
every
and,
time.
or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're doing like 3 packs of cigarettes per like little pack, and they're what you talked about earlier. They're sitting on the couch or they're hanging out in school or whatever. They're basically taking the nicotine content of like a couple of packs of cigarettes per pod, and they're going, well, it's only one pod, right?
right.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's serious levels of nicotine.
Yes, it is.
but
It's a terrible amount of it.
But they
and
don't have the option you have as far as changing them.
correct.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, because of the learning curve. There's a learning curve.
because there is a
Yeah,
learning
yeah.
curve. But my problem with it is
Like you're
it's
driving
not
a
that
manual
It's
still.
not that I'm surprised that high schoolers are making bad decisions.
No, that's gonna be that's the whole point of being in high school. isn't
What
it?
I mean is like parents wind up noticing, they start complaining at a state level, it becomes a thing. At a federal level, it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
It has already. There's already like, well, look at this research that came out that said it's terrible. And you're like, well, that was sponsored by Big Tobacco.
Sure.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, we don't know. I get it. I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah. Well, so in Juul's case, their pushback is, we are a smoking cessation tool.
In China.
Yes. And that's been a marketing thing for a while too.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah.
It has been the thing. Sure, I suppose. But the whole thing is like,
Nick's bored.
I get I get uppity when like high school kids ruin my shit. When they make it harder for me to get stuff that I'm totally qualified
younger
and
now.
totally
sure.
okay
Yeah,
to get,
sure.
because they're idiots. When it's a federally mandated thing, or I have to pay X amount more just to
Yeah.
make it happen, that pisses me off.
Well, we personalize these kinds of things. I mean, like, remember back before you started doing this, before Dave Ruckel, who we mentioned
yeah.
on this episode, and we probably talked about before, that no one knows because whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's a Marvel character, you missed that movie.
Fuck, that was season one.
That was season
of
one of Drunkcast, yeah.
Don't watch that.
But anyway, so before the e-cigarette thing happened, Dave Ruckel got me involved in pressing my own cigarettes, getting the tubes and getting the right, like,
Yeah, we were rolling cigarettes in
Yeah.
the garage for hours
because
at
it was
times.
cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
Like for a pack of cigarettes that was like really nice Norse. I'm sorry, I got back to the Marvel thing. Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Might have been Norse.
Some really beautiful Virginia blend, like
Slim.
like wet tobacco that's smooth burn the whole way, and like pressing the thing out. Like
Yeah.
one pack of cigarettes cost me like maybe $1.15.
Right, we were saving so much money.
And then what happened? And then what happened?
Some fucking high schooler probably started it
No,
up.
no,
and
no.
then it got regulated and got taxed as shit. And
Right.
then it was all of a sudden.
But the point is, it's personal.
It is.
But we should not have had those tax breaks, or we should not have been able to skirt that system. If it was already like, if it was $6 a pack and we were spending $1.15, that means there was a loophole. But then was our loophole, and then we're like, fuck it, this is stupid. The government's stupid. Fuck, this is stupid.
Well, we went back to buying packs at that point because it was like when you mathed it all out.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
became.
You guys should have been selling high schoolers the whole time.
I mean,
It's true. You'd be millionaires by now.
Probably, but I don't know. I
Selling
kind of want to stab him.
Adam's
instead.
Vape Juice.
I also couldn't.
I would totally start the company if I thought it was worth it, and I really do not. I really think it would be more of a pain in the ass than actually profitable.
That's what all business leaders say. That's the reason why none of them
Adam
have any money.
Bezos over here.
Adam Bezos.
there's a couple of there's a couple
No
of
specials for you, sir.
just
special hurdles that are in place now.
Can we say something about, okay, so like we have Adam Rabick and Avery Moore coming on the show in a couple weeks. Woo! Lovely people, love them so much. Can't wait to talk about their new podcast, whatever. The Christmas Committee. It's wonderful. But
It's gonna be great.
Adam Rabick is one of my favorite comedians in Austin, and he's also like a very like I wouldn't say very controversial, but he hits a bit and he keeps on with the bit so hard that when it finally pays off, it's like it's fucking wonderful because whatever. But
he digs in. Yeah.
But on Facebook, he is like if you're not paying attention to his brand, like it's kind of hard, and he got mad at Jeff Bezos for trying to get into the space race thing.
That sounds very Rabick.
It's very
That's
Rabick.
so Rabick.
It's so Rabick. But he wound up bringing he wound up bringing Elon Musk into the fold because he's talking about these rich white guys who are literally not. They have billions of dollars and they're not spending on anything important. And
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
my problem is, especially when it comes to fucking Bezos, is why is he trying to compete right now? Because Elon's not really trying to compete. All of his patents are literally they're available for everybody.
Pathfind.
He's trying to pathfind.
to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so why is Jeff Bezos, like, who still drives the same Toyota Tercel, 1986 Toyota Tercel, because he's trying to be frugal?
Ego.
It's just ego, yeah?
That's all it is. I mean, have you seen the guy? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The bees?
Right.
Ego.
It's partially ego. It's definitely partially ego. Definitely.
Well, what percentage of ego, so you guys can fight a little bit more about it?
No.
60-40, you think?
It's highly ego.
75%, 80.
Yeah.
Nice.
75-80?
Yeah, I'm with
Okay.
you on that one.
Okay. The math
he
checks
was,
out.
He was saying 75 or 80, which would make never mind.
I thought you were saying 75-80. I was like,
But the other part
explain
was
this. Yeah.
In my world.
Go on.
But the other part,
Yeah.
the other part is he's also of the era. Like, he's not much older than we are.
Yeah.
We
Royal we?
Yes. The generation.
Than I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, the generation of like we grew up with astronauts were our heroes. NASA was a thing. Like he has achieved an amount of wealth and success
Yeah.
that can afford it. Could he use his wealth for other purposes that are more altruistic? Yes.
I'm not even saying altruistic.
Well, no, but
Like, that was-
Musk did that before him.
That was-
it seems like he's the GoBots to Musk's Transformers.
That was Rabick's point, was that he should be more altruistic, but like, I mean, I guess we're both making the same
he
point.
probably
but
should be, but he's not. But the point being, like,
join forces, though. That's what I'm saying.
Think of it this way. We are all basically children of that kind of era where like astronauts were heroes, space shuttles were things, and like
Yeah.
we went to the moon, we went into space, we did that stuff. Now you have a dude who is made. He is the richest man on the face of the planet,
Yes.
except for Vladimir Putin.
Or all the secret guys we don't know
Yeah.
about.
But $130 billion of wealth. And his choice is, I want to fly my space cars into space because when I was a kid, I always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna fight that.
Yeah.
There is also a heavy
Same
metal
with
reference,
Musk,
by the
too.
way.
Like, it's like the thing. What do you have to dream for? Like, what do you get
Yeah.
for the richest man in the world? You know,
Yeah.
that. It's like,
Yeah.
And
The impossible. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
The other side of that is that,
Or Dove's blood.
but that's after hours. The other side of that,
This is after hours.
No, the
I was
other
gonna
side of
say.
that coin, though, is you have like Musk and you have Bezos, and what might be missing from the equation is the realization of how much we've all collectively, we, royal you, Earth people, have gained from the idea of we need to go to space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We are doing this right now because of the NASA. Like, we can record, we have phones that compute things.
Sure.
Because 50, 60 years ago, we had people who said, I want to go to that planet someday.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the devil's argument then.
Yep, go.
Finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm saying it's like you have like Musk and Bezos, they are children of that mindset of like,
Okay.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
so now
yeah.
I have the capacity to do that myself. I want to further this endeavor.
Okay, Nick.
No, you have finally convinced myself that it's a worthwhile endeavor of what Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are doing, because it does drive innovation.
Yeah,
It
could
does
they
push our
could
boundaries
they
in a
do
certain way.
could they do
It
better?
does.
Where
Yeah.
we're not currently pushing.
They
NASA's not currently.
Yes.
they could do better,
Yes.
but they're not being evil in any capacity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So to the conversation of altruism. So this is a Rabick devil's advocate. TM. This devil's advocate is like, so why do they think they can do it better? than NASA? Why not give that money to NASA to fund the programs that they need in order to?
I have
Their hands are raised.
Okay, yeah.
I think Adam was first.
Adam,
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
budget.
Yes.
Well, no, I'm saying like, what if you just give NASA an extra $1 billion? What's their budget look like then? It's more than $1 billion after.
No,
you know?
but that's taxpayer money.
I mean, I'm also really concerned about the fact that we're letting the free market decide what we've been trying to fight
That's
for.
called
This
Reaganomics,
is
yeah.
this is a
Right.
downside, but
Right,
here,
right.
here's a
Go.
a point, just real quick to consider and keep again a little slightly devil's advocate.
Man, this show gets deep sometimes.
Yeah, it does.
just wait
That
for my
phone, that phone sitting on that laptop.
Uh huh. Yeah. Oh,
That hang on.
this phone on this laptop.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Right there.
phone on top of this laptop, on top of this table
I'm using it as a coaster.
that you are using as a coaster. Yes, that
I'm sad you aren't actually.
that has so much more actual computational power
Yeah, of course.
than the ship what launched via a whole bunch of burning stuff to go to the moon.
Sure.
Okay.
And every single
Yeah.
device
Yeah.
inside there. Now, if you consider that,
Which we all have.
which we all have, that should tell you everything you need to know about the NASA budget and why Bezos and Musk and that Barbie doll man who's British, Virgin,
Yeah.
that
Richard
guy.
Branson.
That guy, yeah. They're like, oh, whoops, a bunch of money. I appreciate it when they actually use that for something that furthers what NASA had been trying to do since the inception of NASA.
Sure.
So
Because they cannot do it. Your dad works there,
Yes.
Raise your hand.
and I really, it's a shame. It's a shame that we don't pay more attention. That we don't. I wish they had the option to crowdsource their fucking ideas.
Well, they don't have a crowdsource it because they have 2 billionaires who could just throw them money. But Nick, what were you
They
saying?
can't because they're a government-owned property.
Okay.
You can't just throw money at them, or you can, but they won't take it.
Okay, so that's a point that I don't know. I didn't know like that
Yeah.
government building like they can't just like take
Yeah.
donations like that. Like
The reason
it has to be taxed.
But they wouldn't
Yes.
want to either. And
Okay.
it leads into my point, which is saying that one of tech's big mantras, especially in Silicon Valley, is that tech is going to solve the world's problems that government
Yeah.
never did.
yeah, yeah,
And failed at doing so far.
Yeah.
And that's their whole thing.
yeah.
And so that's why they will never assist NASA.
Because they have to prove that tech's always been the thing in the
Yeah.
well, but
I mean,
also like they
because it drives me crazy the consideration of like we have to get to space. Not even just like for the fact that the rare earth metals are the things that help us continue to go to space, but we also have to keep pushing ourselves to be able to do it.
I like Velcro. That's my
Well, sure. Or
there's a bunch of good shit out there that we
flubber. Flubber is incredible. You know, it's one of the most important earth rubbers. No,
rare earth rubbers.
Rare. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. RERs. Yeah.
Specific dinosaurs make flubber.
I'll take one of you, please. In a shot too, please, if possible.
Let's do a round. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
do it.
shot too.
You've gone full Trojan is the point.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So again, this is like Rabic conversation more than anything else because like I still think like I love the idea of like a different person coming in, but I also just like why I don't know. Just
Well, going back to Rabix specifically,
because what has Elon not already done so far? Like he has created devices
He
that
has
will
not- he-
he's recycling his own devices.
but he hasn't gone to space yet himself.
oh, not himself. No, of course.
No,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
going back to Rabik specifically, again, I said it twice.
Sketty.
I love that he's that weird millennial counterpoint to
Sure.
that argument.
Yeah.
Like we've just gone philosophic about like aspirations and
Yep.
the products that come from aspiration
And direction.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas he's going, what about kids in Africa? They need food
Sure.
that you could have paid for their entire existence with your one rocket launch.
Right.
And that's a fun argument. And I love that he is that one guy who's still.
He's still fighting for that. Yeah.
And I love it. It's worse than that. I love that he's a young person who thinks about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's great
Especially-
that he
especially
spawned
the way
an
he says it,
entire
too. Yeah.
And he's passionate as fuck about it.
NASA / private
Passion-
industry
passion
conversation
AF.
just by being.
Yeah.
Period. Being.
Yeah.
We know Adam Rabick, and this conversation happened because of that.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's cool.
Rabic AF.
We're running out of time. Let's go ahead and say, Adam, thanks for coming and hanging out with us for After Hours.
Thank you. I love you.
Nick, thanks for coming and hanging out with After Hours.
Of course.
Where can we find you online?
WeAreBlood.org.
That's right. Dylan, thanks for helping me run the show.
Yay!
If you like the show, you want to know more about the show, you can go to Drugcast Live. Fucking. It's been 9 episodes. I thought it. If you like the show, you can go to If you like the show, you want to know about the show, you can go to contentpending.com. It's contentpending.com. You can also go to facebook.com/contentpending the show or content pending. You can go to Instagram, contentpending.com, all one word, content pending, DOTCOM. You can find us on iTunes, you can find us on Stitcher Store, you can find us on Google Play Store, you can find it any place that micro machines are sold. You can find us
And
Insane. You can find us in place where you can have a podcast. You can look up a podcast app on your phone, anything you like, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Podcatcher is still one of my favorites. Still pretty great for podcasting. 802-359-7468, 802-359-7468, or SHOT. That is a phone number where you can call or text. You can leave a message if you really like it, or if you don't like it, or whatever you don't like, we can actually respond to it. It'd be really fun. Questions at contentpending.com, and also you can find us on Twitter. Just search for it. Anyway, I love you so much, and we'll see you, it's next week. Bye-bye.